So Precision Resilience was founded a little over, actually about a year ago now. And what led to that was in December of 2024. I had been a cop for just over 8 years, had done primarily patrol, had been SWAT for around 6 or 7 years, and I'd been on the sniper team too. But on December 3rd, 2024, I was on duty. I was sitting in my patrol car. There wasn't really a whole lot going on that day, so I was keeping an eye on this car that had some fictitious plates. And one of the traffic guys comes on our main frequency and asks all the traffic units to go to the traffic channel or the motors channel, which I never switch over to that channel. Like, I really couldn't give a shit less what traffic had going on. But for this day, some reason I decided to switch over. So I switch over to the channel and I hear them asking if there are any SWAT guys on duty that day. And someone else chimes up, yeah, I think we got a couple that are on patrol right now. And the other guy comes back and says, well, we just found one of the Thames medics, which Thames is our medics for the SWAT team. We just found one of our Thames medics deceased, committed suicide, the station that the paramedics work at. And when I heard that, I almost immediately knew who it was. And this was my close friend. I had known him for a better part of almost 8 years and had just become really good friends with this guy. And I knew that he was having struggles. He's one of those guys that you would reach out to via text and you wouldn't hear anything back for days or sometimes weeks. He would stack so much work onto his plate. He was constantly working Reno, California, going to school for nursing. This guy he did a lot of the care flight stuff, and then he'd also run on the ambulance. But he was just working nonstop. And he had told me about this little hidey hole that he had up in the attic of their station where he would sleep because he didn't have anywhere to stay in Reno because his primary residence was in California. Anyways, so I immediately knew who it was. And then one of the guys on the radio asked, do we know who it is? And another guy came over and said, we have the registration of the vehicle and this is who it is. And it confirmed who I thought it was. And I fucking lost it. Like, I've been in the military prior to this for 6 years, but that was like 10 years prior. Did a couple tours in Iraq, and I'd lost some friends afterwards that had taken their own lives, even lost some guys while we were overseas. And it didn't have the impact that this one did, because I don't know if this is why, but I feel like because I felt like I knew he was struggling. He had just gone through a divorce. He just struggled a lot with depression. And I felt like I should have done more immediately. That was what I felt like. Like, why the fuck didn't I call him? Why didn't I text him more? So that day, I go once I relax, because I'm just like losing it in the car. This is like the first time ever that I've just broken down and uncontrollably crying. One of my buddies that I went to the academy with, he comes over to check on me at my location where I'm at, because he called me on the phone and wanted to see how I was doing. So he came, checked on me, and then they asked for all of the SWAT guys that were on duty to come down to the station where his body was at so that we could all give him an escort to mortuary. So eventually, once I got my shit together, I drove down there, and some of the other guys were already there. And it's the weirdest thing, because you're around a bunch of SWAT dudes. Like, we're all that real alpha male. We don't want to show emotion in front of each other. And it's this weird, like, everybody's hurting, but nobody wants to really show it. So they ended up pulling his body down. And initially they were asking for volunteers to help bring his body down the stairs. And first I ponied up for it. And then as I was walking over there, I was like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, I don't think I can handle carrying my good buddy, just his body down the stairs into the van. So I turned around and walked back to the people, the SWAT guys that I was staying with. Then we all jump in our cars. We give him an escort. And then eventually, his mom shows up. And we do the whole thing, bringing his body into the mortuary. And we all sat in the mortuary. They've got the pews kind of like a church. And I remember his mom standing up there. She got in front of all of us. There's probably like close to 100 people in there that showed up from all agencies, friends and family. And she gets up in front of everybody and tells us how appreciative she is. And seeing the strength that this woman had to be able to talk in front of all of us when she had just lost her son, like, that to me was the most powerful thing I've experienced ever. So anyways, she just tells us all how appreciative she is and how much all of us meant to him. His name was Patrick, by the way. I don't know. I haven't said his name yet. His name was Patrick Doherty. But the day, we were probably there for a few hours, and we had the whole street closed down. Like, it was just lined with cop cars. And finally left. And then I ended up going home for the rest of the day that day. I had a really cool sergeant at the time. Me and my buddy were both on the SWAT team, and we're both on the same patrol team. And he lets us take off for the day. But then it was like, come back to work the next day and act like nothing happened. And that's what I did. But as the days went on, this was in December, and if any of you in law enforcement know, like November or December time frame, you've got the holidays, and you've got people that are really struggling in life, and this is the time that we get like a lot of suicides. So the days following were it was like suicide call after suicide call. And it was something just within the next couple weeks that just opened the floodgates of everything that I had been compartmentalizing from the job for the past 8 years. Like, all of it just came out. It would come out when I was sleeping. I would have dreams about previous calls. During the day, I would see things that would, bring other memories back from stuff that had happened, back when I was a brand new cop. Stuff that I'd seen back when I was a brand new cop too. And it's those things that we like compartmentalize, because for a lot of us, like, it's just the job. Like, this is what we do. We go from call to call to call to call, seeing everybody's worst day and being a part of everybody's worst day. And our only way to like navigate through that is by just putting that call behind us and going to the next one. So we never take that time to process any of the stuff that we see. I know I don't, and I know a lot of officers don't. There may be some of you out there that do, and if you do, good on you. Your longevity in the career is probably going to be a lot longer than most. But so the following month and a half, actually it's probably about 2 months, I just went into severe depression. It got to the point where I didn't want to go to work anymore. I didn't have the patience to deal with people. And when I did go to work, I was looking for a fight. Like, I was pissed off, and I would go on scene and antagonize people and try to get people fired up so I could fight them. And that was not me. Like, the past 8 years prior to that, I had always remained calm, level-headed, been able to de-escalate situations, and something inside of me just flipped where I was, like I said, looking for that fight all the time. I just wanted to take my anger out on somebody. And there was a few times that I did. Fortunately, it never came back to bite me in the ass where I did anything horribly wrong, but there was a day where I had to step back and take a look in the mirror and be like, what the fuck am I doing? This is not me. I'm going to end up getting myself hurt, a civilian hurt or killed, or one of my partners hurt or killed because I'm being too fucking selfish to admit that I have some issues that I'm dealing with right now and actually deal with them. So, long story short, I was really like on the path to suicide. I started thinking about it quite a bit. And fortunately, I had my brother who was checking up on me very regularly. And he was making sure that I was getting out, and we were going to the range all the time. He knew that I loved getting out and shooting. And one day he's like, "Hey man, there's a few people that I train with in jiu-jitsu that want to learn more of the firearm side of things. Would you be willing to teach them?" I was like, "Fuck yeah, man." I taught several, or been a part of teaching several SWAT schools and a few sniper schools prior to that. So I felt like I had a good grasp on things to be able to teach like basics on, pistol. And so he got me out there, and that just kind of like sparked something in me where I saw it as an opportunity, not only to be able to teach people, law enforcement, civilian, how to handle firearms and handle them proficiently and with confidence, but also a way to promote fitness and mental health or mindset. So a big part of obviously being mentally healthy is being physically healthy. So that's how we incorporated into precision resilience the physical fitness aspect of things. We're just barely getting off the ground now, but it's a little bit of where it came from and how I was inspired to build this company. And I met my business partner Amanda, who's also in the same agency as me. She had actually approached me because she wanted to test for the SWAT team. And we went out on the range, and I was, running her through some of the stuff and realized that she had a very similar mindset and a very similar outlook on the physical fitness and the mental health, especially in the first responder community. We, as first responders, we see things that are not normal on a regular basis. And if we do not prioritize dealing with this stuff, working through it, processing it, understanding it, then we are doing ourselves a disservice. We are doing our families a disservice. We are doing all of the guys and gals that work alongside of us a disservice, because that shit is going to catch up to us. It's just a matter of time. So her and I, we aligned very much on that stuff. And she's a badass when it comes to teaching, handgun, and just shooting in general. So her and I, hit it off. And originally I named it Stricker Vanguard because my brother, he said that we had this background similar to like Vikings and it'd be cool. And I thought it sounded cool as fuck. I really liked it. So I actually did the business name Stricker Vanguard Training Group. When I started telling people what it is, Stricker Vanguard, they'd be like, what? What did you say? Like, how do you spell that? What does it even mean? So I got sick of trying to explain every time I told people the name of my business, what it was, how to pronounce it, what it meant. And that's where I had come up with the precision resilience, right? Because that's really what we're aiming for, is dialing in with precision on how to be resilient, not only physically, but mentally, on the range, out on the street, if you're law enforcement, how to be proficient and comfortable with your firearms, and just all the other stuff that goes into it. So named it Precision Resilience Training Group. So that's what it is. That's where it comes from. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. Just a little background on it. But if you guys like it, go ahead and subscribe and like and all that good stuff. And I'll put some more content out like this, since I can't really do anything else right now. I just had cervical spinal fusion, my C6 and C7. So I'm out of being able to get in the gym and hit the range for a little bit. So I can do these videos right now. But anyways, guys, I appreciate you watching, and I appreciate you guys supporting us. I hope that you guys all have an amazing day. And if you get a chance, get outside, get some sunlight, work your body, and feed your mind.